Have you ever felt trapped in a life that seems to move in slow motion, a life where monumental changes feel impossibly out of reach? Perhaps you look around and see others soaring, achieving, transforming, while you remain stuck in a cycle of routine, longing for something more, something different, a profound shift that seems just beyond your grasp. You tell yourself that big changes require big actions, grand gestures, a complete overhaul of your existence. But what if the key to unlocking your potential, to igniting that transformation you crave, lies not in dramatic leaps, but in the subtle power of small, consistent actions? Think about the weight you carry each day, the weight of unfulfilled dreams, the burden of self-doubt, the pressure of societal expectations. It's a heavy load, isn't it? And the thought of shedding it all at once can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing. We often believe that we need to conquer Everest in a single bound, forgetting that even the most seasoned climbers take it one step at a time, meticulously placing each foot, focusing on the immediate ascent rather than the distant peak. Maybe you've tried before, attempted those grand overhauls, only to find yourself back at square one, defeated and discouraged. The gym membership gathers dust, the self-help books remain unopened, the new hobby fades into the background noise of everyday life. You blame yourself, label yourself as a failure, reinforcing the belief that you're simply not capable of change. But what if the problem isn't you, but the approach itself? What if the secret to lasting transformation lies not in forcing yourself into unsustainable extremes, but in gently nurturing small, manageable shifts that gradually reshape your reality? Consider the ripple effect. A single pebble dropped into a still pond creates a series of ever-expanding circles, touching every corner of the water. Your life is that pond, and your small actions are those pebbles. Each conscious choice, each deliberate step, each moment of self-compassion creates a ripple that extends outwards, influencing your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, and ultimately your destiny. This isn't about overnight miracles or instant gratification. This is about cultivating a mindset of continuous improvement, of embracing the power of incremental progress. It's about recognizing that even the smallest acts of self-care, the briefest moments of mindfulness, the simplest expressions of gratitude can accumulate over time, creating a tidal wave of positive change that transforms your life from the inside out. The journey ahead is not about striving for perfection, but about embracing the beauty of imperfection, the grace of self-acceptance, and the unwavering belief in your capacity to evolve, to grow, and to become the person you were always meant to be. Now, let's examine the subtle ways our minds often sabotage these small beginnings. It's not always a conscious act of resistance, but rather a deceptive undercurrent of thought that whispers doubts and limitations. We may start with the best of intentions, committing to a daily walk, a few minutes of meditation, or simply writing down our gratitudes. Yet, almost imperceptibly, the inner critic steps in, belittling our efforts, comparing us to some unattainable ideal, or convincing us that these tiny steps are ultimately futile in the face of our larger problems. This internal saboteur thrives on perfectionism, creating an all-or-nothing mentality that prevents us from even starting. We tell ourselves that unless we can dedicate an hour to the gym, it's not worth going at all. Or if we can't meditate in complete silence for 30 minutes, we might as well not bother. This type of thinking essentially shuts down the possibility of progress before it even has a chance to begin. It's like refusing to plant a seed because you can't guarantee a bountiful harvest. Another insidious tactic of the self-saboteur is procrastination, which manifests as a constant stream of excuses and justifications for delaying our small acts of self-improvement. "I'll start tomorrow," we say, conveniently ignoring the fact that tomorrow never seems to arrive. Or we convince ourselves that we need to wait for the perfect moment, the ideal circumstances, forgetting that life is messy and unpredictable, and that the perfect moment is often the one we create ourselves. Furthermore, we often underestimate the cumulative effect of these small actions. We dismiss them as insignificant, failing to recognize that they are the building blocks of lasting change. It's like dismissing a single drop of water as inconsequential, forgetting that it's the accumulation of countless drops that eventually forms a river, carving its way through mountains and shaping the landscape. Similarly, our small acts of self-care, when consistently practiced, can reshape our lives in profound ways. Consider the analogy of learning a musical instrument. No one expects to become a virtuoso overnight. It takes years of dedicated practice, starting with the most basic scales and exercises. Each small, incremental improvement builds upon the last, gradually transforming a novice into a skilled musician. The same principle applies to all areas of our lives. Whether it's improving our relationships, our health, or our careers, it's the consistent application of small, positive actions that ultimately leads to mastery. Consequently, it's crucial to develop strategies for overcoming these self-sabotaging tendencies. One effective approach is to reframe our thinking, shifting our focus from the end result to the process itself. Instead of fixating on the distant goal, we can find joy and satisfaction in the act of taking small steps forward, celebrating each milestone along the way. This can help to quiet the inner critic and cultivate a sense of momentum and progress. Building on this, however, it's equally important to practice self-compassion. When we inevitably stumble or fall short of our expectations, we must resist the urge to beat ourselves up. Instead, we can treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, recognizing that setbacks are a natural part of the learning process. This allows us to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and continue moving forward with renewed determination. Reflecting on this journey so far, we begin to perceive a delicate architecture taking shape, not one built of imposing monuments or grand pronouncements, but rather a mosaic crafted from the quiet moments of self-awareness and the intentional cultivation of small, supportive habits. The essence of change is not about eradicating who you are, but about gently nudging yourself towards who you aspire to be, one conscious choice at a time. Drawing these threads together, we see that the transformative power lies not in the destination, but in the continuous act of becoming. It's about recognizing that you are not a fixed entity, but a fluid and evolving being, capable of reshaping your reality through the consistent application of intention and self-compassion. Each seemingly insignificant act, when woven together, forms a tapestry of resilience, strength, and unwavering self-belief. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, not as a perfectly paved highway, but as a winding trail through a verdant landscape, where stumbles and detours are simply part of the adventure. The key is not to avoid the obstacles, but to embrace them as opportunities for growth and learning, knowing that each challenge overcome strengthens your resolve and deepens your understanding of yourself. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't plant a seed and expect a fully grown tree overnight. You nurture the soil, provide water and sunlight, and patiently watch as the seedling gradually emerges, its roots deepening and its branches reaching towards the sky. Similarly, cultivating lasting change in your life requires patience, dedication, and a willingness to nurture your inner self, providing it with the nourishment it needs to flourish. As we pivot towards the final reflection, consider the cumulative effect of these small, intentional acts. They are like tiny sparks that, when consistently nurtured, can ignite a wildfire of positive transformation, illuminating every corner of your life and revealing the extraordinary potential that lies dormant within you. The journey is not about striving for perfection, but about embracing the beauty of imperfection, the grace of self-acceptance, and the unwavering belief in your capacity to evolve, to grow, and to become the person you were always meant to be. The transformation is not a singular event, but a continuous unfolding, a dance between intention and acceptance, between effort and grace. It is the art of shaping your life, one small, deliberate act at a time, into a masterpiece of your own creation. The symphony of your life is composed of countless notes, each seemingly insignificant on its own, but when played together, they create a melody that resonates with beauty, power, and unwavering hope. So let's not merely admire the concept of small changes. Let's translate it into the very fabric of our being. Think of your life not as a grand canvas demanding immediate mastery, but as a sketchbook inviting daily strokes of intention. Each sunrise offers a fresh page, a clean slate upon which to inscribe a single act of kindness, a moment of mindful breath, a whispered affirmation of self-worth. These are the pigments of your transformation, the subtle hues that, over time, blend into a vibrant masterpiece uniquely your own. Consider the quiet revolution unfolding within you, a silent uprising against the tyranny of overwhelming expectations. No longer bound by the illusion that monumental shifts are the sole measure of progress, you are now empowered to embrace the profound impact of the seemingly insignificant. A single conscious decision to choose nourishing food over fleeting comfort, a brief pause to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, a heartfelt expression of gratitude. These are the seeds of a life lived with intention and grace. The true practice begins now, not with a thunderous declaration of change, but with a gentle whisper of self-compassion. It's about recognizing that the journey of transformation is not a sprint, but a marathon, and that the most sustainable progress is achieved through consistent, mindful steps. Let go of the pressure to be perfect, and instead, embrace the freedom to be authentically you, flaws and all, knowing that each perceived imperfection is simply an opportunity for growth and learning. And as you navigate this path, remember that you are not alone. We are all fellow travelers on this human journey, each striving to unlock our potential and live a life of purpose and meaning. Extend compassion not only to yourself, but also to others, recognizing that we are all interconnected, and that our individual transformations contribute to the collective evolution of humanity. Therefore, dare to embrace the power of small beginnings. Dare to believe in the ripple effect of your actions. Dare to trust in your capacity to create a life that is aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. For within each of us lies a wellspring of untapped potential, waiting to be awakened by the simple, yet profound, act of choosing to take one small step forward, one day at a time. Let that step be guided by love, fueled by hope, and grounded in the unwavering belief that you are worthy of a life filled with joy, purpose, and boundless possibility.